start that same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the benefits outweigh the responsibilities because I do have acquaintances from Delaware all the way down through Haiti that I work with in a zone, which is zone 33, 34, and I do a lot of traveling and things with them and try to say yes when they ask me to do things when I can. I've made good friends in different countries, and Rotary's also taken me to other foreign countries.
Yeah.
And I've done service projects, and also I led a team, a group study exchange team. A few years ago, it was actually 4 other young adults, and we went to 4 different countries. And I've been to district conferences in Trinidad and Suriname, South America.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
So, you know, it's just, the benefit has just been great personally on that part. And my husband was a Rotarian at the time, and, you know, so we shared a lot of information and friends with that. And so we have mutual friends with Rotary.
Yeah. And who joined first? You or your husband?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you sponsor him as well?
No,
or?
I did not sponsor him.
Okay.
Although he was a very good candidate. The year I was district governor, of course, he's traveling with me every place.
Yeah.
And one of the other Rotarians was a good friend of his and said, you know, I think Larry needs to be a Rotarian. I'll sponsor him as a Rotarian. And so he came in the club at that time.
Okay. So you said you were the first woman district governor for 7530.
Correct.
And would you say that you experienced maybe some obstacles that maybe your male counterparts didn't, or?
Not a whole lot, but some. It was kind of interesting. One of my first club visits was to Parkersburg, West Virginia, and that was a big club. And that was my very first official visit.
Okay.
And it was an evening dinner club, and we have official jackets as a district governor. And I had purchased this one for myself and also a matching one for my husband.
Yeah.
And we're sitting early in the foyer at this hotel restaurant area, and I had to go to the ladies' room. In the meantime, one of the older gentlemen, that's Rotarian, came in and sat down beside Larry and was talking to him. And then he said, well, it's really nice to meet the new district governor, and stood up. And Larry says, it's not me, it's my wife. And I think the older gentleman was quite taken back. It was like, oh. You know, so, you know, but as a whole, women had been in Rotary for a few years, and so the gentlemen were not foreign to the idea.
Right.
Although I must say, I think the year that because I had to take training in California, every incoming governor does.
Oh, wow.
They spend a week in California.
Okay.
And you take training with people from all over the world, all the Rotary world. And this thing's a little bit risque, but for the first time I spent a week not having to stand in line at the ladies' room. Because
that works.
There's only 28 women in the world at that time serving as coming in as district governors.
Yeah, and, I can imagine the transition being a little slow.
Yeah,
but
it's
okay now.
It's a little more now, but
right.
Yeah, that was interesting. Also, I've been able to serve council legislation 2 different times. So I've gone to Chicago and worked with people from all the Rotary world in order to look at the rules and bylaws of the Rotary International. And so that was an interesting journey.
Yeah.
And again, met people there that I had met in my initial training in California, because some of them came back, and so we look up each other. You know,
right.
and
that's great.
It's like that class reunion type thing, and that's good.
Yeah. So this is your time to just talk about maybe your earliest experiences with Rotary, or some of your favorite memories, or maybe projects that you coordinated or that you participated in at Rotary.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is going to Guatemala.
Oh, wow.
And with my husband and as a Rotarian, and Bob Brain and Rigo Ramirez, and then another young gentleman that was actually from something to do with water, that was with WVU.
Okay.
And we spent a week working in a village in Guatemala, and working with their water, and also helping to build a facility that this club sponsored in order to develop for a little clinic. And that was very interesting, and back to basics, and it was such a pleasure to see the pride that people have in these little villages clear on a mountaintop with very meager existence. But that was one thing, was definitely a highlight of my life.
Do you remember the name of the town by any chance, or the state?
El Carmen.
Okay. Okay. I'm Central American, but I'm not familiar with that one. And then you also participated in the Flower Project, yes? With Bob Brain?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
everybody did. Yeah, when it first started, that everybody did on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was involved in that initial part, and also when they put the pavilion up at the Jawbone, which now has been moved to the city park.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
So all those projects, yeah, and of course working at the blood screening every year. And
Yeah.
so
That was a great contribution.
Oh,
That was a
yeah,
great
yeah.
fundraiser.
And it's just like old home type too. Again, with fellowship with people that come back every year for their acquaintances and talking, but also getting their blood tests. It's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for the community. So what advice do you have for anyone interested in becoming a Rotarian?
The advice would be realize that I think I'm going to give you my first impression the first time I came in as a visitor.
Yeah.
I know J.C. Rafferty, actually, I said he had to spend a lot of money for lunch because he took me to lunch 3 different times, different places before I said, yes, I go to Rotary.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, and when I came into the Rotary meeting, the room was filled full of people that I felt were the movers and shakers of Upshur County.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was a positive impression. And I think that's, it was just a good thing, and the warmness and feeling of fellowship, which is what Rotary is all about to begin with, okay? And so, I think if you're looking for some fellowship and acquaintance and just be able to associate with good people who try to do good things for the community,
yeah,
Rotary is a highlight of that part.
And do you have anything else that you'd like to add about your experience at Rotary?
I'm just not done experiencing it yet.
That's all right. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Mary. I really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.